So, tell me who you guys are. From.
Who's going first?
You going first, man?
We'll save the best for last. Oh.
Banksy, let's go. My nigga.
Hi, my name is Banele Dlodlo. I was born in Joburg, I was raised in PE. Currently, I'm done studying as well, so I'm a graduate. In the creative aspect, I'm a photographer, a model, a stylist, and a creative director.
Where Lihle, Menziwa. Well, my full name is Thembelihle. From Islam. I'm doing BSc in dietetics at NMU, whatever you call it. And I do photography, and I'm more leaning towards cinematography. Probably like later when I'm like 25. Yeah.
Okay, how's it guys? I'm Marc. I am a photographer. Grew up in Pretoria, but originally from Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire. And yeah, photographer.
How did you begin photography?
It's always been something for fun. I started off with my phone. When
Which phone did you use?
LG.
Okay.
Just did random sunrises, sunsets, and then materialized to a lot more. Went to portraits still with my phone, and then yeah, moved on up from there.
For me, how I got into it was initially when I started, I was a model. So I used to model, and I got to a point where I found it, not saying it was easy, but I found it to be a bit
You got too comfortable.
yeah, I got too comfortable. It was a bit routine. I knew what I had to do all the time. And sometimes you find, as a model, you have an idea. I'd have an idea of a shoot, but the photographer wouldn't be able to do it exactly how I want to do it. So from that point on, I then decided to actually learn photography so I can create my own images than just being a part of an image. So yeah, that's how I got into photography.
How I got to it, I think it's always been like growing up as a kid. I used to, not as a kid, but you just got like in my house, we just got like DSTV. So the only channels I was more into were like your fashion TVs, you know, and your food channels, and those they just have like beautiful images. And most of fashion TV was like the photography part where they used to create like fashion tutorials. And at that time it was it's still a thing like overseas, and I just saw it like a lot of people they are making like a fortune out of it, and I was like, here where I'm from, like everybody has to be like your lawyer, your medical doctor, and I like, but like there are people like making a lot more doing this, and I think I can do it as well. So yeah.
Can you describe that moment or experience or emotion when you knew that photography was something that you just had to do? That moment, like, I'm good at this. Let me just try it out.
For me, I don't think. For me, I think starting up, well, part of shooting people and taking portraits of people, I think I've always known that if I'm not good now, then obviously with time and being consistent and trying to master my craft, I'll be great at it. But I think that moment for me came when I was recognized by like other people, like the people that you like look up to, or like I aspire to be like that or even become greater. But like those people when they came into PE, when they were looking for photographers, and I was like, they hollered at me, they called me. I was like, okay, probably I have something, even though I don't think I have it, even though sometimes I doubt myself, but if they can call me, then they recognize me, then I probably have it. And at that moment I was like, I'm just gonna stick to it.
This is my turn. Okay, so it's always been something that I did for fun. But then, okay, wait. I have a law degree, right? Did law and then afterwards moved into translations, etc. So the photography was always a hobby aside from that. But then because myself and a friend of mine called Khosi, because we basically blew up, and still doing it for fun, but it was, people really enjoyed what we did. Decided to just switch the law life for photography, but it was a gradual switch. It wasn't oh, I'm gonna wake up now and be a photographer. It was, had to make sure I had clients and everything like that. You gotta pay the bills. Yeah.
For me, it wasn't. For me, it came as a surprise actually, because when I took 3 photos, I was with him actually. We were at New Brighton Beach, and there were these kids playing on the beach.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yo, give me the camera, I want to take pictures of these kids. And I think at that point when I took those pictures, subconsciously, because of all the photographers I had followed up till that point, and keep telling myself that I want to learn photography to create my own images, when I took those pictures and they came out the way they did, and when I took them I had a certain feel in mind. I could already see the final product, and already I also knew the type of emotion I'm trying to capture, and it came out exactly like that. So I think at that point is when I was actually like, you know what, I actually want to pick up the camera. But after I took those pictures, I never did pick up the camera. I actually just kept on going to maybe when he's shooting or when he's shooting, and just watch and just see how he does what he does. And I'm like, okay, that's how you do this, that's how you do this, that's how you do this. And then I think about a few months later, I actually started.
Whose work has inspired you the most in the industry?
Ooh. That's not a hard question. It's just there's a lot of people you look up to, and you look up to them like for different reasons. Like, you know, sometimes you look up to a certain photographer because they business, you know, minded in a way. You like to respect that for them. But like for me, when it comes to the art and how the images look, I think it's well, when they started, it was a 3-year-old called I See a Different Tree, and I think I started because of that, and what they stand for and what they were about at the time. I don't know what they're about now, but not being shady, but what they were about at the time, you know, trying to explore Africa or trying to tell stories of Africa or Kasi, you know, in images, and trying to portray that beautiful side of it, because just like right after apartheid, South Africa has been known to be like this country that's bad and ugly, and it's all about, yo, you can't go to South Africa because it's not nice, you know. And if you do go to South Africa, it's always been go to Cape Town, go to all these nice places, Sandton, blah blah blah. But they never get to tell you that you should actually go and explore the castle life. That's where the pure monarchy is at. That's where the fun is at. So I think I'm just trying to portray to the world that it's more than just what you guys think it is. There's like way more than just that. I think I see a different view, and I've worked with Uncle Scrooge. Is really like dope when it comes to images, and I think it inspires me as well. You know, just working close to someone and see how they do things, and like sometimes they will create something, and when you look at it like, nah, it's like you went there, and when you see the picture after, it's like that it looks different. Just to create something that's totally different from what you saw with your naked eyes, like really amazing. So it's Uncle Scrooge, and I see it different.
It's a whole bunch of people, eh? I'm not really gonna name them, but kind of you find a group of things that you like, and then you just take a little bit out of everyone to create your own. So that's basically my thing. But none of them, I don't look up to anyone that's still in SA. Let me put it that way. So if you're a South African photographer, for example, that's just doing South African things and not thinking of doing going to America, for example, or going to Europe, then it's not something that I want to relate to, because I mean, why are we staying in one place?
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little bit of everything from everyone.
Yeah, I think it's the same as them. Like, I don't really have, off the top of my head, I can't really be like, okay, this is the person that inspires me. But I do look at different people and I do see what they do and I try to learn and adopt it to my style of shooting. But initially, at the time when I started, the PE photographers are the ones who inspired me. So it was Herve, it was Dlodlo, it was Thembelihle. They inspired me to actually get cover stuff. They actually inspired me to actually push it and start it, because it's for me, when you talk about inspiration, it's better when it's something that you've seen yourself with your own eyes. So when you see someone who's progressed from taking from a phone to now doing with a camera, you know, that type of thing, you see the level and you see the growth in the photographer and you see the opportunities they get. So for me, initially, my initial inspiration, and even today, is still those photographers. But yeah, no, really. Still, 'cause I watch, I'm like, oh, you're flying out because you have to take pictures. I'm coming. So that's where I'm at now. But like, other than that, I don't have anyone who inspires me. But I am a fan of. There's a Nigerian kid called David Uzochukwu, very talented kid. I'm a fan of I See a Different You. I'm a fan of, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Trap?
Yeah.
Cut.
Do you think the influx of digital cameras will lead to fewer professional photography jobs?
No.
No, the good ones will remain.
No.
Okay.
No.
Legit.
It's always been a thing. Like whenever because that's not a discussion I'm having for the first time. But whenever I engage in that discussion, there are photographers who say, yeah, I don't like these new phones. I don't like these new cameras. People getting money to afford cameras. But I think real photographers, it's not even a threat to them, because it's not the camera. It's always been about the photographer. So, and I guess if you always trying to create, then obviously people will be intrigued, because if you're creating it, something that doesn't exist, you know, that's not there. So you're showing them something they've never seen before, you know, and even with themselves, because part of portraiture is just like interpreting your own beauty in my own way. So it's something you're not aware of, but I see it, so I gotta show you. So even if you have the most expensive camera, but if you don't see that, you don't see it, you know, and the camera won't show you that. Yeah.
Same. I don't think these new cameras or even your whole iPhone photography thing is a threat. I feel like the real photographers will survive because of the fact that there's so much more that goes into photography than just a nice picture. I mean, I'm still learning how to do it because I've only been shooting for like 6-7 months, and every time I learn, if you have a camera, I'm sure when you're taking a picture, you're not looking at lines, you're not looking at depth of field, you know, there's certain dimensions and proportions you have to see. So I don't think digital cameras or these new iPhone cameras and things like that are a threat. I don't think they're a threat at all.
Hey, but these new ones, they give you depth.
Yeah, but they're not a threat. They're still not
you don't have to look at it, they just give you like...
Yeah, it's still not a threat though. It's still not a threat.
Well, I'm a photographer by trade, so I'm not even threatened by anything. No, but seriously, also, it's all cool saying photography, but in the end you have to deal with people. So if your attitude towards another person does not match, or does not match how great your photography is, you're not going to go anywhere. So never mind having the best camera, that camera has to still shoot people. So you can't be the best, or you can't have a career as a photographer if you're not a people person.
That's very true. That's very
I always say that because like it's more like a personality thing. you won't be getting paid from just shooting trees. If you
Yeah.
are getting paid from shooting trees and animals, then you have to sell it to someone.
Yeah.
So it's always about people. It's always about people.
Tell us the story behind your favorite photograph
Oh, that I've taken or someone else?
you've taken.
Yeah, I have to think about that one. Can we go to someone else? I have plenty of photography.
That one that
Let's-
stands out, you're like, this.
I don't have a certain photograph that stands out. I have a series that I think will forever be my favorite series, and it's a series that when I thought I was good enough, when I was like, okay, cool, now I can actually pick up a camera and do something. I had done a series based on Japanese characters, and that series for me was the best for me at the moment, not quality wise or anything, because obviously after that I grew in my photography and I took better photos, but it means so much to me because what most people don't know about that series is that even the characters' names I created myself, and they're all in Japanese, and the characters' names actually, if you go through the whole series, you'll see that those are keys to life, on how to conquer life.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like one of those art pieces where you're cryptic about the message, but if you focus on detail, you'll actually get the whole message. So yeah, for me, it's a series of photos that actually stood out for me.
Okay, I don't have a specific photo, but actually, I do have a specific photo. No, I do.
Which is this one?
It's a friend of mine from Germany that came down, and then we went to watch the sunrise, and then we went to have breakfast. I randomly just picked up the camera and just took a photo of her. I put a scarf over her head and around like the bottom part, and then it literally just had a shadow of everything was dark, and then just her eye, her one eye. She has like blue, green, yellow things, I don't know, in her eyes. So it was pretty hectic. Yeah. I still occasionally post it here and there. Yeah.
I think for me, because my work is always about like working with people, and not just people, but I'm more proud of Abacost, the culture of Abacost. So it's also like a bunch of photos. I can't really select one photo from there. We did a series called Okuzaz, so like getting to know yourselves. Because when those two girls got to PE, they felt like, well, throughout their lives, they've been through to March school, so they felt like they were not really in connection with their roots or sense of belonging. I don't know. But like, they felt like they didn't know Xhosa as much as they should. Even the little that they know, it's not authentic. It's like diluted. So they were like, hey, bruh, we want to go like on a 3-month doing research on Abacost and all the journey they've been through and all of what it means to be a Xhosa. And then we went through that, but we only ended up with creating a series of pure beings and very connected to the sea or water, and yeah. So it looked like we were I'm not but it wasn't the case. It was just the interpretation of being on course in their own interpretation. Yeah.
Okay. If you could take your art in any direction without fear or rejection, where would it lead? Where do you see yourself as a photographer?
I think I see myself within the African continent. Obviously, I would like to explore other continents, but it's not something I would like to show to the world. I mean, the world already has their own stories, but what I would like to portray to the people or let other people know, because even people from Africa, they don't pay much attention to African stories. But if you go on Twitter or whatever platform, you will know what's happening in the US, in the UK, probably Asia somewhere. But what's happening in Africa, you don't know. So I think I would spend my days traveling around Africa and just letting people know about the cultures in Africa, which are very beautiful, I believe. And even if you go and ask like a 16-year-old today about where is Nigeria in the map or where's Rwanda, they wouldn't know. So I think it would be just trying to educate people about Africa and their cultures and the different textures you get within it.
Where would I'd just be everywhere, hey?
Yeah, like tricky, like I don't know.
Like I would just be everywhere. Whatever thought I have, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a specific thing to shoot, whether you're white, you're black, you're albino. If I look at you and I want to take a photo of you, I will take a photo of you. Obviously with your consent. But yeah. Growing up, I've been, I'd say, to most countries in the world. So I'd love to do that again, just as a photographer this time. And then obviously explore more aside from that, but I'd love to do all of that again as a photographer.
Yeah. For me, it's a tricky one. I think for me, knowing myself, I'll probably do one of the two. So I'll either be in fashion or I will travel. And if I had to travel, I do Africa first of all. So if I wanted to have like a gallery where I have an exhibition and things like that, would mean me traveling Africa. And then if I go to corporate side of things and things like that, I'd really love to slip into fashion, high fashion editorials and things like that.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. Time. Yeah, but that's what I do.
Lastly, any advice you'd give to anyone who wants to seek profession in photography? What would you say to them?
I don't have the answers. I started like recently, so I'm not even in the position to give advice. If maybe I don't know.
I'd say start, man. Like the first thing, if you want to do something, start. Like don't wait. What are you waiting for? Because the sooner you start, the better the chances of you becoming better within the right time. I don't know what the right time means, but
Start.
Just start.
And YouTube is your friend. You started. YouTube is your friend.
Yeah, YouTube is
YouTube.
University of YouTube.
I'm from University of YouTube. I won't lie.
I think all of us here,
we're actually from University
we graduated from that university.
I'm still graduating.
Not yet.
Not yet. I haven't graduated.
But I think the problem with YouTube people, they are most likely not to be liked by the university people, the real university photography. Yeah, that's another case.
That's another story.
That's another story.
Well, as someone that's actually doing this as a profession, what do you do? Just literally have fun with it. I still have fun with it. There's nothing that I do, there's nothing that I shoot, there's no one that I go in a meeting with that I don't do it. Like, I don't think twice about it. It's literally, okay, I have to go meet Banele, for example. Cool, wake up, shower, go do what I have to do. If I'm late, excuse me, but I always want to be there. Never think that you know more than others.
Sure.
Like, personally, to get myself here, I've been surrounded by my peers, my friends who also knew things that I didn't know, and vice versa. So we all like learned through each other. And there were others like Dean Cartier, for example, or River Lease, that I didn't necessarily ask advice from, but just sitting back and watching them, and not necessarily how they edit, but their final product, and you trying to mimic it through your own work also helps. Yeah, and you must always have someone to call upon. So, for example, if I'm sick, I have two two people that I know I can call. Like there's others, yes, but those are the main two that you call first. Or even if you're sick, if you can't do a gig or if anything like that, we literally just switch amongst each other. So yeah, you must always have that. That way you will all indirectly grow with each other because all those, especially in PE, all the things that you do will go towards other people. Like other people will be there of influence to see, and then they'll also. So yeah, just have fun with it and have fun with it.
Fun.